Hey, and welcome to the Brain Toolkit app. This is your dashboard. I'm going to bring you through all the different activities and how to leverage them. So this is your homepage. Let's just start with the top option, oculomotor vestibular. So regardless which option you want to go into, you are going to click on it. It will bring you to the next screen. So these are all the options you have under oculomotor vestibular heading. And when you click one of the activities, let's just start with gaze stability, a screen like this will pop up. And on the top right, there is info for every single activity, and it will just give you some information about the activity and why you might want to do it, and also where to start. So this is helpful both for clinicians and for patients. Then every activity also has settings. You can click there and choose which settings you want. So how long do you want the activity to be? There for this one, options on color of the dot, size of the dot, and then whether you want to show the Troxler effect or not. And then there are options for changing the background. So usually we would start with a plain background, and then as the patient progresses through rehab or as you're working with your clinician, they will advance the activity and potentially change to a busy background or a moving background. Right now, I'm going to show you no background. So we're back here, and then you click play to start the activity. And here's an example of gaze stability using the Troxler effect. And the Troxler effect refers to this green circle surrounding it. You can test this on yourself, and the goal is to look at the red dot, stay focused on the red dot, and then see if the green circle fades. When the eyes are stable, the green circle is supposed to fade. Now let's move on to saccades. Click the activity. Again, you have the info, and then you have the settings. And so here, the sky is the limit with saccades, and so there are a lot of options. Slow, fast, medium. How long do you want the activity to be? Colors of the dot, size of the dot. The next update is also going to have different types of dots. For example, a dot, a cookie, a smiley face. So you can wait for that. And then what distance you want the dots to be from each other. Again, we have options for the background. Now, when it comes to saccades, which refer to the jump eye movements, there are many different versions of saccades that we might want to test. So for example, we could do horizontal, we could do vertical, we could do diagonal. So here, let's go with diagonal just for the example. And I am going to use a small dot wide, but let's see what busy background will show up for us. The busy background gives a random busy background. So here we are. That's pretty stimulating. Now in this one, the clinician might have you look at the center dot and then look at the dot that clicks or blinks and back to the center dot. And of course, you want to get as many right as possible. And as this levels up, you might increase in speed. You might change to a moving background, and which direction you work on or you work on with your patient will of course depend on your assessment. After all the activities, there will be an option to play again or just to go back. So the same thing you have for pursuits, which are smooth eye movements, and again, there are just so many options, and you'll choose based on need. Let's look at random. So this is random. I think this was a fast speed on a plain background. And the user follows the target with their eyes. Now, of course, you can use this for assessment also, and then you'll be looking at accuracy. You want to look at things like eye fatigue. Is there excess blinking, watering of the eyes, clear strain on the eye tissues? You can also monitor heart rate and see if there's an increase in heart rate with the activity, which would indicate that there is stress to the system while doing the activity. And of course, you can do that with all the activities. OPK, right? Used for testing, but also for homework on the OPK reflex. So there are all different directions, and let's just start with right to left, okay? And with the OPK, you can layer on a pursuit or a saccade, depending on the goal of the rehab. So let's go with this. We went with saccades on top of the OPK, and let's choose a blue dot. So this is going to be more reasonable. So for this specific example, the user would be looking at the center dot and then looking to the dot that flicks and back to the center dot. And the great thing about the OPK is there on the side, you can just increase the speed without having to go back out to the menu. And you can also, if you're using it on your iPad or phone, you can just touch the screen and swipe with your finger to change the direction. Optic pursuit. For this activity, you will select the number of targets, the type of target, and then the user has to pay attention to the targets that were highlighted in the beginning, watch for the period of time selected, and then at the end they have to select the targets that they think were highlighted in the beginning. So that's a great one for attention, optic flow. Hemistim, if you're not familiar with Hemistim, I don't recommend using it because it's incredibly stimulating. So, but if you're in functional neurology, this might be something that you will use in your neurological rehab.